Okay, guys. So I was gonna do a walk and talk today, but I saw this video this morning, and I just had to comment on it because I love watching Asmond Gold. Sometimes he's got a lot of good takes, a lot of bad takes. He's kind of like the world's id. It feels like he's the #1 streamer, and he's got strong feelings against religion. Is one of the sad things I hear about him. But I mean, perhaps rightly guarded against. But we're gonna listen to his takes on this and give my takes as well.
Christchurch senior pastor Doug Wilson makes no apologies for his beliefs on God and country.
I'd like to see the town be a Christian town. I'd like to see the state be a Christian state. I'd like to see the nation be a Christian nation. I'd like to see the world be a Christian world.
And now Wilson's
not hiding the ball.
controversial views as a Christian nationalist are gaining sway in the nation's center of power with the recent opening of his...
This is going to get way bigger, by the way.
It already is.
Way bigger. Like right now, you're seeing the first 10%.
Yeah, this is early bell curve stuff.
And high-profile parishioners like Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Isn't it crazy that the guy that has tattoos on himself from the Crusades wants the country to be a Christian nation again? I would have never predicted that. Who could have ever known? Wow.
Is planting a church in D.C. part of your mission to try to turn this into a Christian nation?
Yes. So every society is theocratic. The only question is who's Theo. In a secular democracy, it would be demos, the people. In a Christian republic, it'd be Christ.
Well, what would you say to someone watching this and say, look, I'm a Muslim. Who are you to say your worldview is better than mine, that your God is better than mine?
Well, if I went to Saudi Arabia, I would fully expect to live under their God's rules.
But you said...
I told y'all it's coming back.
And he's got a great point there. And not only that, but America has been historically a Christian nation. And you see in Iran, actually, that over 1 million Muslims converted to Christianity. So this is happening, whether, you're talking about Crusades. The Crusades never really ended. And there's probably still going to be, there's jihad from the radicals that don't believe. But the way that this war is being won is actually people that are apostatizing from Islam are being taken in by Christians and giving a place to stay and be restored. So that's how we win this battle, not from fighting, although, Christians do defend and protect.
I told y'all this is what's going to happen. I've been saying this over and over and over.
I love to see people waking up to this, that this is the reality.
This is the angle that I think a lot of people are going to start using in order to push religious messaging and to push for a more homogenous culture, is that they're going to do it through religion.
Well, this is how we've had homogenous culture in America for so long.
You want this to be a Christian world.
Yes.
So you want to supplant their religion with your Christian.
Yes.
By peaceful means.
By peaceful
Not
means.
by peaceful means.
Well, so that's his first take that I'm really don't agree with, because he doesn't really understand Christianity. He understands a violent Christianity, and there has been violent Christianity, and I'm not so sure that I would call that Christianity. But like the wars in the Crusades, I believe that those things were actually good. That there were people being oppressed by the Muslim hordes, the Turks, and then that the kingdoms united to go and free and liberate those people and the Holy Land. So,
not by peaceful means. The window has not shifted enough for you to say what you really think.
Now, Christ did come to bring a sword, and that was the holy word of God. That's the Bible. And so that is the weapon of our warfare. He doesn't quite understand.
But, that'll change.
The Overton window will move over and things will change, and I believe that this is there will be a fight within the own conservative party about true Christianity and what does it look like, and there'll be abuses of that, no doubt. You even have like Andrew Tate's brother, Christian Tate, and he recently came to Christianity, but if you listen to his language, he's talking about basically it's like he's talking about as the religion, like he found the religion and he thinks the religion is right and it was all from his determination. It's like, that's actually not how it works. It actually works that God makes you spiritually alive, and then whenever you act out of wanting to please God, doing the things that please God, that is Christianity. Not that you've adopted a religion for use of economic or to as like the levers of power kind of thing. And that's what we're going to have to fight against as Christians, is people that claim to be Christians but actually don't have any fruit.
A lot of work yet to do. I believe that we are working our little corner of the vineyard.
Wilson's Little Corner, a picturesque campus nestled on the outskirts of downtown Moscow, Idaho, is growing by the day with thousands of like-minded Christians.
That's right.
Parishioners of his church, known as
Christian nationalism, is going to be probably one of the fastest growing groups of people in the next 5 and 10 years.
I think that's exactly right. I think we're about to see an explosion. I believe that we are on the verge of a revival.
Primarily by young people and Zoomers.
Kirkers own and operate several businesses downtown next to liberal college town stores.
If it's true.
Why did he yell boo? It's because of me. Because of you.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's a regular day for you.
That's not unusual.
No.
A big focus of his Christian movement is on a patriarchal society where men are dominant and
He's chuckling, and because
women
feminism
are expected
sucks,
to submit to their husbands.
and he wants that.
When I started Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses,
There is an order to things, and I mean, God has placed this as man is the head of the household, and the wife is to be submissive to her husband, and this is a beautiful picture about how men are supposed to serve Christ and the church to serve Christ. It's exactly how the wife is supposed to serve her husband. And in that picture, in that image, it shares the love of Christ and a woman's obedience and submission. And women do not like that concept, right? Whoops. I shouldn't say all women. I didn't say all women, but you know.
This was retweeted by the Secretary of
Right.
Defense.
This was the Secretary of
saying
Defense.
all of Christ for all of life. I don't sound so crazy anymore whenever I say that the 19th Amendment is going to be a conversation point, do I? I told you.
The people that people come out of.
So you just think they're meant to have babies. That's
Well,
it. They're just a vessel.
No, it doesn't take any talent to simply reproduce biologically. The wife and mother, who is the chief executive of the home, is entrusted with 3 or 4 or 5 eternal souls.
I'm here as a working journalist, and I'm a mom of 3.
Good for you.
Is that an issue
No,
for you?
No, it's not automatically an issue.
Josh and Amy Prince, along with their 4
Not automatically an issue, but it will be.
Well,
Yeah.
I think what he means by that, he said not automatically, is that as long as a woman's work doesn't come in between her and her true calling, which is to her family and to her children, to her husband.
I'm going to be CEO of a company. You're going to be CEO of the kitchen. Just the way it is. Why is this a problem for Christians? I think that people feel more comfortable criticizing Christianity versus criticizing Islam because, number one, Islam is seen as a foreign religion and Christianity is
a violent one.
A domestic religion, and also
domestic, it's domestic because we this is a Christian nation. That's in our roots. It's in our heritage. There's been great revivals that have happened here. We have Supreme Court documents declaring this a Christian nation. We have early documents proclaiming that they were going to Christianize the area and they wanted to bring Christian values to their land.
Race politics. It's because Christianity is primarily a white person religion and Islam is not.
No, well, Christianity is not just a white person religion, and it gets into the rest of the video. There in Christ Jesus, there is no Jew nor Greek. So, yeah.
And why? Those are 2 of the main reasons.
Kids
but
moved
from a cultural conservative and a secular worldview, that's probably right. Is that it's scary. It's the other, right? So it's not really understood. And it's easier to understand because it's like, oh, these are the values that we grew up with, and we should take some of those values. But if we actually give credence to the implication of where those values came from, then it's actually a much daunting reality than what we want to actually live in.
Washington State.
Do you see Amy as your equal?
Mm-hmm. Yes and no, in the sense that we're both saved by grace. We're absolutely on equal footing, but we have very different purposes. Right. God-given.
Equal in value, and but separate in roles.
Do you see yourself as the head of the household, as the man?
He is the head.
That's right.
And of our household. Yes, and I do submit to him.
So like moving here
I was just going to say that.
ultimately your decision.
And look how happy she looks.
That's a great example.
Wilson says in his vision of a Christian society, women as individuals shouldn't be able to vote. His fellow pastor.
I didn't know this, but that is definitely a take. I'd have to see the arguments for it, but what Sumter is about to say is it's definitely reasonable.
This is how I read 100 pages in 10 minutes.
Oh, I hate that I get ads and everything like that, but oh well. All right, boom.
That's right. This is the reason why a lot of young people aren't supporting Trump. It's because
they're not conservative enough. He's not conservative enough.
It's because he's not conservative enough.
That's right. This is a Zoomer-led movement, actually.
Biggest L ever. Religion should not substitute secular law.
That's so stupid because the law that we have that we started with is not a secular law. I mean, any sort of religion or any sort of lawmaking is based off of morality. It's legislating morality. So where do you get your morality from? And people, the secular world gets it from themselves, sort of like humanistic ideas, and that's really dangerous. That's like leads to eugenics. That leads to men can be women and women can be men, and there's no foundation for truth. So.
I'm not a big fan of being ruled by religion either.
You're already ruled by religion.
I think that most people, like, I am a Reddit religion. Atheist. Okay? So I agree with you in a lot of these viewpoints. But I'm telling you where things are going.
Mm-hmm.
Pastors Jared Longshore and Toby Sumter agree.
In my ideal society, we would vote as households. And
I would ordinarily be the one that
would cast the vote, but I would cast the vote having discussed it with my household.
But what if there's your wife doesn't want to vote for the same?
Right.
You're unequally yoked, and you shouldn't be married to that woman.
Why would you even ask?
She's not going to listen to you.
You know what the answer is.
Yeah. She just wants to hear him say it. Well, they're not hiding the ball.
Person is you.
Right. Well, then that's a great opportunity for a good discussion.
There are some who have gone so far as to say.
You see, they're still trying to play by the old rules. That's it.
Yeah, right. They're trying to get him by the whole, oh, you're sexist, you're a racist, you're a homophobe.
These worthless men are the reason why sexist women exist.
Worthless men. Wow. It's like these men are obviously accomplished.
You are in for a very, very bad next 10 years.
I think that's right.
Probably next 20 years.
And yeah,
you're in for
I'm trying not to take too much pleasure in it. But actually, there is a good amount of pleasure to be found in
that they want the 19th Amendment repealed.
I would support that, and I'd support it on the basis that the atomization that comes with our current system is not good for humans.
And Wilson, a veteran himself, is unapologetic about his view that women shouldn't be in certain leadership or combat roles.
That's not a minority view. Not a minority view in the military.
They going all the way.
Because men have to act differently whenever there's women in the military. They have to, and plus they're not as physically capable to follow through with a lot of the stuff that these people go through training. So they've had to lower the bar for women to be able to get into a lot of these positions, and it's dangerous. And women in leadership roles like that, I'm not for that personally.
Hey. Oh, shit.
And where in the Bible has there been a female military leader? There hasn't been. You might say Deborah, but it never said that she was a judge. It said that she was a prophetess, and she didn't lead the armies. Baraka did.
looking at the leadership page for Christ Church,
Right.
it's all
guys.
men.
It's all men.
Yeah.
What? Like 1 Timothy 2:12 says?
Congratulations,
Like the Bible
Karen.
says?
You just figured that out.
Congratulations.
Do you accept women in leadership roles in the church and government?
In the church, no.
Why?
Because the Bible says not to.
12 disciples.
Right.
And, yeah.
Well, that's not what happens in the Bible. Women do lead all the time.
No, this woman is a heretic, and she's not. Well, okay, so Doug didn't give any supporting verses, but obviously they're cutting these things. But no, there's not women leading in the church. There were women that were put up as equal in salvation, right? Like Jesus comes to women first when a time when women's word was worth less than a man's, and he came to them first after his resurrection. So, yeah, if anything, Jesus is the reason for elimination of women's suffrage in a lot of ways.
Progressive faith leader Reverend Jennifer
Not
Butler
in the
is
voting
concerned
sense.
about Wilson's growing influence.
Of course they're concerned.
Of course they're concerned. That's right.
I bet they are.
That's right. That'd be very concerning to their whole world.
He is rapidly gaining in power. He has hundreds
True.
of churches established around the country.
She looks concerned. Very concerned.
These people have no idea where things
They
are going.
actually literally wanted to.
Why- They have no idea what's going on here. This is a consensual situation.
They've already been living in the past year of panic of their world being turned upside down by Trump. And Trump isn't conservative enough for them. So, yeah, these people are in for a rude awakening.
The end result of this is that it will not be. Clip it.
Wait.
And let's wait.
Oh, wait. Say what? The end result is what?
The end result of this is that it will not be.
Around the country.
Yep. These people have no idea where things are
They
going.
actually literally wanted to.
Why- They have no idea what's going on here. This is a consensual situation.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Consensual situation. Yeah, not
The
everyone
end
is going to
result of
consent to this. Obviously, there's going to be non-believers that don't want this. Just like a murderer would not consent to him being arrested. Now, there's he brings up blasphemy laws, and something that's not reported in this is Doug Wilson has actually advocated for blasphemy laws that don't apply to non-believers. So in a Christian society, the people are actually taken care of and the safest in a Christian society.
This is that.
That's why people love America so much, is because we enforce our laws.
Clip it. And let's wait.
Yeah, it's not totally going to be consensual. I mean, not everybody is going to want that,
For
but
now.
there's going to be a massive wave of people that want to go back to their roots. There's been too much cut stem theology for these people.
And they have access to this administration.
Yes,
Wilson is part of a broader Christian nationalist movement making inroads with the Trump administration, with a newly created faith office led by evangelical pastor Paula White Cain, and people seen right outside the White House entrance praying and speaking in tongues.
We are standing on the soil of the White House, and we are declaring your word.
How precious.
And now there's a monthly prayer service at the Pentagon, initiated
That's
by
great.
Hegseth.
Wonderful. And
This
he
is
hates
exactly what I expected.
Actually, I don't think he really hates it. I
Yep.
think he's happy to see Christians acting like they should.
If you had told me that, again, the guy with a bunch of tattoos from the Crusades would be doing this, I would immediately believe it.
Yeah, that was the hope,
Yep.
honestly. That's why we were really glad he got put into the administration.
And before people start calling him the Antichrist, you oppress enough people, don't expect a counterswing. I think that
Well,
a
not
lot of
oppressing people. The Christian ideology, Christian belief is not necessarily going to be oppressing people. It says to stick up for the oppressed and seek justice. As for him being the Antichrist, that's ludicrous. One, we're going through a series in my podcast now that basically says that the Antichrist was Nero. This is the Great Tribulation is past in 70 AD, the fall of Jerusalem. And but as for him being the Antichrist, he'd have to have signs and wonders around him and all this sort of thing. And it's like Pete Hegseth is a Reformed Christian. He would never profess to be God, right? So that's all dispensational pre-mill theology. That's just nonsense.
People view, and this is the reason why I think that it's happening. I think that it's happening primarily because they see encroaching religions, primarily Islam, taking hold in European countries, and I think that Americans are looking to inoculate themselves from that happening in America.
Certainly.
And the way that they see that working is by taking on Christian nationalism as an oppositional perspective to Muslim nationalism or Islamic nationalism.
What he doesn't mention is also Hindu nationalism, which India is actually very close to Hindu nationalism. So that's an interesting thing.
And I think that's definitely what's happening here. And so these are people primarily who, I don't know if all of them necessarily believe everything in the Bible, but what I think that they do believe is that they want to be told what to do based off of the Bible and not the Quran.
That's right.
And I think that whenever you look at the way that the
For we like sheep have gone astray. I count myself among one of the sheep. I want to be governed by a good shepherd.
Graphics have changed and the laws have changed in Europe, I think that many Americans see that and they don't want to see that happen here. That's the main reason why it's happening. It's self-preservation. Yes, it is. No one's telling you to do that,
There's got to be an element to that for sure.
I think that that's the perspective, right? The perspective is that a
and
lot
there's
of these people...
the other perspective is that people actually believe what they say. So
the outlook that a lot of them have
that God is real.
They're worried that if another religion comes into America and it creates enough of a power structure that it will effectively exercise its will over the people and it will supersede the existing laws. And they look at things like existing blasphemy laws and things like this that are being added in the UK.
For this to be right, the Christian way, it has to be done through the legal system. It can't just be like supplanted. Like this is not the French Revolution, okay? This is going to be, it has to be consent by the governed.
Or in Europe, and they see that and they say, oh, well, if these people can live on their own, why are they trying to change the laws and make people tell what to do? Do you see kind of what I'm saying here? So why do we have to swap pussy Karens from Christ Karens? Because, again, and I think that it's a lesser of two evils. That's the way that they see it.
Also, what are they going to do about it?
And that's the way a lot of people see it.
Islam his truth is marching on.
This is more limitations on women than Christianity ever did. I don't care about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way that people think and how they're evaluating this and where this impulse is coming from. And if you can't see this happening, I think that you're very delusional. I think that you're not paying attention, and I think that you're intentionally blind. This is where things are going, and I think it's going to become more and more extreme. And as religion, and also
people are becoming more and more radicalized.
Is that
they're living more and more in faith. They're acting out their convictions, which is what we want. We want people acting out their convictions so that it can either lead them to more life or it can lead them to death. And whenever it leads them to death and they find out they're broken, that God is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. So live out your convictions and see what happens.
The lack of a global culture, right? Or sorry, a national culture. Like America had a much more homogenous natural culture, even whenever I was a kid versus now.
Right.
I think there's a lot of people that want to go back to that. And they see that one of the vehicles of going back to that is religion. And that's primarily Christianity here in America. And so that's the reason why it's happening. That's where it's going. Keep religion out of politics.
All that
Here's the problem.
Christianity in America.
And you can debate whether this is true or not, but I'm telling you this is what people believe.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
People don't want to keep religion out of politics.
Religion is politics.
Out of a very, very simple thing that other people won't keep their religion out of politics. So they view this as...
you can't separate religion from politics. You can't separate morality from legislation.
Bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, and Christianity would be a bazooka compared to all these other, because we have the foundation of truth on our side. We have the revelation of Jesus Christ. So there's really no stopping it.
Hitting your goals has nothing to do with discipline.
Ads.
The real culprit is...
May have to, maybe we'll cut it out. We'll see. No, it's already gone. There we go.
I'm saying religion is politics. Yes, exactly, right? And so anyway, USA does have kings, exactly, and so that's really what it is, and vice versa,
it's not a king.
Exactly. And so
consent of the governed.
yeah, it's reactionary. It is in a lot of cases.
There's some reactionary.
Denmark banned the burqa. Have you seen that? Yeah, I did see a little bit of that. It's not impossible to keep religion out of politics. People just don't want to. Well, do you think 9/11 may have had an impact on this? Oh, of course it did. It absolutely did.
Everything leading up to the moment that we're in is why things are turning around. It's all part of God's great plan, right? I just think Trump surviving in office, like Trump isn't a born-again Christian believer. He's lying about the Epstein list, but God has put him in this place as a vehicle to help Christians be able to work and move forward. And obviously Pete Hegseth being there, and then the movements of Christ Church. This is the time to work. This is the time to make advancements. And that's what's happening. Christians are taking the opportunities, and they're tired of being oppressed by a secular society.
Of course.
Wilson's highest level connection to the administration.
It's not organizationally tied to us, but it's the kind of thing we love to see.
For his part, Hegseth has publicly praised Wilson.
He has.
Now we're standing on the shoulders of a generation later, the Doug Wilsons and the others.
Wilson's influence spans the globe with more than 150 churches. Lennox Kalafungwa moved to Moscow from Africa.
It's really because I wanted to be a part of a community that was doing something, and especially in building Christian institutions.
Are there other black families in this community?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
What a weird, stupid question to ask, especially from that name. Like, that's an African name. Christianity is massive in Africa.
This is a good point, too. Yeah.
Now,
it's different.
The type of Christianity that's in Africa isn't the same as, like, Orthodox Christianity.
They also deal with a lot more witchcraft in their society. There's, like, mixture of paganism in some churches. And so, yeah, it's totally different down there because they're a lot more spiritualized, and we've been a lot more secularized.
Or like, Catholicism. It's not directly the same, but it's similar. Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, it's huge.
There's a few black families.
Wilson maintains all are welcome to his church, but he's also not shying away from his past controversial statements on race.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, he stands by his statements.
Wow.
Right. He doesn't even know what they are, actually. That's how.
I believe what you said back in the 90s, that there's a mutual affection between master and slave.
Yes, it depends on which master, which slave you're talking about.
Right. Well,
slavery was overseen and conducted by fallen human beings, and there were horrendous abuses, and there were also people who owned slaves who were decent human beings and didn't mistreat them. I think that system of chattel slavery was an unbiblical system.
And we're a slave to Christ. So he is the good master. And to live in the kingdom as a servant is much better to live as a pauper out in the wilderness.
I'm grateful.
Christ is my master, and he's done right by me. He's made my life. He's given me much. Like, I have much to be thankful for.
It's gone.
What he also wants gone?
Oh, here it comes.
I told you guys. I told you.
Same-sex marriage, because he thinks...
Well, it's already starting to happen. Like, they've started to call into question, was that Obergefell is what it's called? Yeah, because it's technically unconstitutional to it needs to go back to the states is what would be the argument next, just like abortion.
There's no such thing as ethical.
Would be the order of operation. I believe it just should be outright banned, but obviously that's not where we're at. This is it's an incrementalism that it starts to move back in this direction, and it's by the consent of the governed. Not all the governed, of course, but that's just the society we live in. We live in a society where half of the country gets to choose what's going on, and the other half has to sit with it.
Slavery. Okay.
Oh, and just back on the slavery thing. Slavery in the Old Testament was not anything like slavery as it is now. There was indentured servitude. Basically, people that enter into debt could live in their master's house, and they worked for their master, paid off their debt, this sort of thing. And actually, there was a year of Jubilee where all the slaves had to be let free. And also, if a slave wanted to, after his period of working for his master, he could choose to stay with his master, and he would get an earring to show that he decided to stay with his master, and it was a slave who would receive high honor.
is a crime.
And also, I mean, if you look at what is it? His name is John Witherspoon, and his model of Christian charity, that God and his divine providence have determined that some men are to be rich and some are to be poor, and it's to bind the men, bind people closer together. He gives a few reasons, actually, but also God in his great glory is able to have many officers that do many things, but also to show in the rich charity, generosity, some other things, and then for the poor, their obedience, submission, and thankfulness.
70s and early 80s, sodomy was a felony in all 50 states. Mm-hmm. That America of that day was not a totalitarian hellhole.
Right. So you would like America to go back to that?
Yep.
Wilson maintains his ultimate goal is to bring about the
Yep, that's it. Mm-hmm. That's the goal.
The second coming of Christ through his work, and rejects critics' claims he's trying to make the dystopian world of The Handmaid's Tale a reality.
I'm not a white nationalist. I'm not a fascist. I'm not a racist. I'm not a misogynist.
How far off do you see a Christian nation, like a full-on Christian theocracy?
Oh, 15 years away.
So he says a different number, but they obviously don't have the same idea. It will be well on that track in 10 or 15 years, but obviously Doug Wilson
250 years.
250 years.
To where it's been really shaped and refined and doing much better. I could see that 250 years. And she's kind of happy by that. But he has a 250-year plan. I mean, that's really the kind of vision that you have to have whenever you're planting something like this.
That's
yes. What you see, but you do think it will happen?
Yes, I do. We're not going to usher in anything ourselves. We're really genuinely pioneers.
I think it'd be 50. 250 is a long time. Not a chance, 0%. Well, anyway, so this is the new guy.
0%.
This guy pretending people weren't doing sodomy just because it was illegal. Yeah, but it's like they weren't able to do it publicly, and it was controlled, and people weren't able to express themselves in the same way. So I do think that's a pretty big difference. Let me see if I can
do you really want people expressing themselves in whatever way that they want? I mean, like, what if my expression is through murder, right? I feel really expressive that way. It's like, okay, well, no, government's role is to restrain that evil, so you can't do that. And we're comparing homosexuality to murder, but really it's a sin against oneself that is not a life-producing ideology. So really, you're killing yourself with that.
Up a few more of these here, and here's another one. Pete Hegseth gives let's just see what he does.
Mr. Hegseth, do you think the Muslim Brotherhood should be designated as a terrorist organization?
Why did your chief of...
Maybe no comment would be better, but honestly, Muslim Brotherhood, I've heard terrible things about, don't know too much about.
I told you guys that's the reason why it's happening.
He'd be more in the know about whether it should be or not.
Bishop think so? Yep.
So that's pretty much
staff tried to house the lighthouse liaison.
Again, this is the same one.
Okay. That's pretty much it. I really got a lot of joy watching this morning because people are waking up to reality and what's happening, and a lot of people do not like that reality, but they're fighting against the wind. I mean, it's been foretold, right? These things were spoken about in the Bible. We're going to continue. The saints will be given a kingdom that will last for all generations, and Christianity hasn't stopped. Christianity is what really founded this nation, and this nation is taking its roots back. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I really like that, so I wanted to watch it and review it and show you guys. So I'm just going to post this, and yeah, thanks for watching.